Peace. This is the enemy's public. I am Bro.Nasir. The title with this video is self-explanatory. What happened to us? Explain our behavior and self-hatred. Now, I listen to a lot of brothers and sisters talk about how they want to change the condition of our people, our entire dynamic, yet they behave total contrary to what they say they want concerning our people. When we have brothers and sisters who are in the face of our enemy trying to get reparations for our people, we have the ignorant among us would say that we're asking for handouts when everybody that America, the United States, have victimized, they were paid reparations. And even some who America, the United States of America, haven't victimized, or maybe they have in the past, they receive money from the United States. Yet, the people who have suffered the most atrocities receive nothing. We are still being shot down on the streets by racist police officers or racist white people in general, and self-hating Negroes. Now, the United States is offering $40 billion to the Ukrainians. He gave the Afghans $308 million. He gave Hispanics $780 million. And he gave $3.8 billion to Israel as part of a long-term commitment made under the Obama administration. To the ignorant among us, my brothers and sisters who say that we're looking for a handout because we want what's owed to us. Holding someone accountable is not looking for a handout. It's not playing victim. That's the trick bag that the perpetrators of the crime against us use while playing victims in our face when we hold them accountable. Now, it's a lot of brothers and sisters who say they want the best for us, or they want to see our condition change. Their behavior don't reflect that. Now, the difference between black people and white people concerning ancestors or forefathers is regardless how wicked George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Robert E. Lee, Francis Scott Key, Woodrow Wilson, Lord Sterling, and all of these people who they name schools after that we have attended, white people still revere them as their heroes and great leaders. What do we do to ours? Those who stand in the face of our enemies, fighting for the rights of our people, we throw ours away for an error that they have made. Some of our people, we do the best that we can based on the knowledge that we have. I've never seen so many brothers and sisters claim that they want the best for our people, yet they behave so contrary with all the infighting, wanting smoke for each other. That's what they say. Debating each other as if it's going to make a difference, debating religion or debating something that's microscopic, and it's not going to make a change with our people. They would rather win a debate or have a victory in a debate than to have a victory as a people. It's really intellectual masturbation. We must not only have knowledge of self, we must have knowledge of others and how they move. Our enemy knew that we were going to act a damn fool once we got an outlet to run our mouths without someone pulling the plug on us. As long as we stick to the self-destructive, detrimental behavior, we'll keep our channels with the highest algorithm. As long as we're on the BS infighting, the buffoonery, and discussions about anything non-productive. If we were not enslaved, what happened to us? Explain our behavior. I have people who say that the Willie Lynch letter and the Willie Lynch effect really didn't happen. It was fake. When I see a lot of Negroes' behavior proves that the Willie Lynch letter is absolutely in effect to this very moment. Now, we are a culture of brilliance, and still we act a damn fool. Can some of us, the smart among us, please explain to me that if we were not slaves, at least some of our people, with our behavior today, what happened to us? Now, I know McGraw-Hill, the nationwide publishing company who has been publishing textbooks in America schools for years. Ever since I was a little child, they've been publishing textbooks in American schools. They've been trying to change the narrative about slavery for years. And it's obvious that some of my brothers and sisters are buying it hook, line, and sinker, letting our enemy off the hook while others are compensated for the atrocities that have happened to them. Again, what happened to us? We can't come together as a people and accomplish anything except foolishness. Everybody's a fraud who stands on our behalf, as far as our people is concerned. And we wonder why people feel that they can harm us with impunity. Our enemies can actually predetermine what we're going to do when they do harm to us. We'll march, we'll tear things up, we'll set fires, we'll get in the face of the police officers or those who perpetrated the crime against us, and then we would chill until the next episode. Now, it's really bad when our women are assaulted. They are assaulted with no consequences. We don't have any, they don't have any consequences for assaulting our women. Now, a police officer in Chicago was just indicted after he quit. They didn't fire him. They indicted him, though, after he quit A sister was walking her dog on a beach, and the beach was closed and everybody started leaving. And he tried to charge her with loitering. Now, you cannot loiter if you're moving on from the beach or anywhere you're going. They can only charge you with loitering if you're standing around. But if that person is moving, you can't charge them with loitering. Now, this police officer had the woman alone. Somebody was recording it instead of helping her. That's what makes me mad with these spineless Negroes. You will hear a man in the background while a woman is being assaulted, saying, "Stop, don't do that." He's holding a camera, hearing a woman scream while a man is assaulting her, a police officer. It doesn't matter who he is. If it's enough of us, he's not going to be able to shoot all of us. But these Negroes, they will die in gang violence, but they won't die on behalf of their own people. That's backwards. That's ass backwards. Now, we let people put their hands on our women and get away with it. Like the sister on the highway in California, police officer actually straddled her and punched her repeatedly in the face. And nobody did anything. Nobody held the cops accountable. Now, the police are not going to hold each other accountable. When we see things, blatant things like that, the utter disrespect, and I feel as a man that when somebody put their hand on your woman, he's trying you as a man. And if you don't do nothing, he's making a punk out of you. And they've been trying to get us to engage with them in war for the longest time. Yet we will not engage at all, even when they assault our children and our women. And people have the nerve to say that we weren't enslaved with the slave mentality that some of us have. I want to know what happened to us that we don't defend ourselves. We will only fight with each other, but we won't fight with an open and consistent, vicious, wicked enemy. Now, our children is not even safe trying to get what America has to offer as an education, if you want to call it that. We have racist teachers teaching our children foolishness that doesn't give them any esteem or pride about themselves. Speaking of the word pride, where that word pride is used, it usually means something of dignity. But now you say pride, you're thinking of something else. When the brothers was raising their fists at the Olympics, that was called pride. You mentioned pride today, it's something else. And those are some of the things, even up to the rainbow, which means universal, it was stolen from us by the alphabet people who say they have pride, yet if they were proud of who they were, they wouldn't change who they are. That's probably going to get my channel in trouble, but I have to tell the truth. And some of the black LGBTQ, whatever letter they added on today, they would rather fight for a sexuality instead of fighting for the rights of their own damn people. LGBTQ is actually trying to become a race themselves. And they are funded. Yet when black children, men and women, I'm mentioning them out of importance. Children, men, and women are assaulted and murdered. All people do, including our own people who have a little bit of power, who can probably do something if they had the fortitude. They stand up and say how terrible it is. That's all they do. Say how terrible it is. But do absolutely nothing. Because our enemy, they are quick to put a black face on anti-blackness and white supremacy. They'll put a black face on that so it'll cover them. And some of us are so willing to do that. If we wasn't enslaved, I know all of us wasn't enslaved when all of us wasn't brought over here. But to those of us who was, and based on our behavior, especially the way we treat each other, what happened to us is a good question. Because all the way to this moment, we have niggerdom. Everybody is a fraud when it comes to our people. We are so suspicious of our own people, but we let other people off the hook who we know don't give a damn about us. We send our children to these public schools knowing they don't love our children. They teach our children foolishness, and Messenger Muhammad told us in the 1950s that do not send your children to United States public schools. They are the killing fields. Our children come out with a slave mentality, with a cartoonish attitude, with a television attitude, and a man who won't treat you right, he's not going to teach you right. So why would we send our children to these schools? Those of us who didn't know better, we can't fault them. But to those who know better, we have to pull our children out of the American public school system. And if you're able to teach your own children, teach them. Because what they're doing now in the schools is they want to hold the parents accountable for any bad that the children do. But they want the children at the same time to keep secrets from their parents. A little girl, she can go to a guidance counselor, a woman or a man who they don't even know, is not caring for them outside of the school, and oftentimes even inside the school is not caring for them. They can go get the vaccine, the jab, the poison without their parents' permission. Little girls can go get abortions without their parents' permission. They sexualize our children in the schools. They have required reading in the schools about sexual behavior, and they have tranny reading time in the schools. Last week, they had tranny reading time in Jersey City. A transvestite is in the park reading to the little children. And the mockery of it all, this is supposed to be LGBTQ, whatever letter they added on this week, Pride Month. a month longer than Black History Month. They get a whole long month, an entire month. We get February, interrupted by Valentine's Day, interrupted by President's Day. But it's our month, right? We need to stop asking for what's rightfully ours. We should come together, declare something, and that's what it is. We don't need anyone's permission to celebrate ourselves, because in all actuality, 1 month can't hold our history. It can't. So I'm not saying or suggesting that we get rid of Black History Month, yet we need to continue to teach our children every day of the year about who we are. And we need to stop being so critical of each other. I get so tired of seeing brothers and sisters talking about exposing another brother or sister. Yet when you say you want to see what's good for our people, this person's a fraud, that person's a fraud. And all most of us are doing is sitting in front of our computers. Some of us claim to be the most requested scholar. If you're a scholar, it only means that you study. It doesn't mean that you put in work for our people. Now, if you say that you are a damn warrior, then it's different. We need to become warriors, because not only that, I'm a grandfather. And I have a lot of grandchildren. And if we love our children and our grandchildren, we would have to become warriors. We have to have the warrior spirit, and we have to teach our children to be warriors. Teach your baby to throw his bottle at the enemy. And teach them who the enemy is. Not to run around here being marauders, starting fights and being unpeaceful and savages. Just those who would defend themselves when the time comes. If our enemy knew emphatically that we would defend ourselves against them on behalf of our brothers and sisters, they wouldn't bother us. But they see the division. They knew when they set up social media that we was going to act a fool. This all I see is buffoonery and people acting a damn fool on all of these social medias. That's all I see. But they supposed to be the ones who's supposed to be the leader. Okay, don't follow this person. You're acting like a damn fool. You're supposed to follow the fool. What you should be doing is organizing, strategizing, and deputizing. You take what you have and combine it with the other brother or other sister and form a coalition. We've been putting the cape on for other people for a long time. And guess who benefited from it? Not us. Again, there's a lot of people getting money from the U.S. A lot of people who have gotten money from the U.S. and are getting money from the U.S. Again, they just gave $40 billion to the Ukrainians. But they're telling us every time we talk about reparations, they have to study it. No, don't study it. Tally it. Count it. Tally up our money. Saying that we want reparations is not a damn handout. It's owed to us. They give reparations to people who they went to war with. After they tear their land up, America would repair the damage that they've done. That's what reparations mean. Repairing the damn damage that you've done to a people. We are so damaged that we don't even recognize it. And we suffer as a people from Stockholm Syndrome. We have sympathy for our captors, for our oppressor. We have sympathy for them. And we allow them to dictate what a victim is. Now, you take, for instance, Abraham Cooper. I'm going to go back to the interview with Professor Griff and Nick Cannon. Great dialogue. Nick Cannon was flexing, trying to show his big brother how much he knew, which was a lot. He told the truth, gave historical facts. He was punished for it. And he had Abraham Cooper on Cannon's class more than any other guest. And Abraham Cooper sat on the other side of a table with a black man of a people who have experienced so many atrocities and played victim. And Nick Cannon said, "You are doing to me exactly what I accuse you guys are doing." And he laughed. And what's bad about what Nick Cannon did when he wrote the statement, now if you apologize for what you said about a certain people, you don't disrespect your brother while doing it. You the one ran your mouth like that. It was an interview, but you did most of the talking. And being that you were on point, brother Professor Griff gave you the nod in agreement. In the apology to the Jewish people, Nick Cannon called Professor Griff by his government name, didn't even give the brother the respect to call him by his accolade. That's how far down we have become and becoming. I heard a brother yesterday call Bro.Nasir by his government. That is low. That's low. But this is supposed to be a brother who wants something good for our people. He called Bro.Nasir by his government name. And we wonder why people make mockery of us, laugh at us, and feel like they can do harm to us without impunity. What happened to us? If it wasn't slavery, it was something. Did somebody slip a whole nation of people a Mickey? Because we are sleepwalking. We're sleepwalking. We need to get our shit together. Because if we don't, the universe is going to deal with us. Because we're not justifying our existence with our behavior. To be a people of such brilliance and still acting a fool, the universe is going to deal with us. And our enemy is going to be sent to outright murder us. You don't believe that's your enemy? Okay. The universe is going to show us who our enemy is. Foreign and domestic. But when somebody stand on your behalf, we should not be so critical of them. And whatever they're not doing, be a soldier and cover down. Cover down. You can't expect them to know everything and do everything. Cover down. That's what a soldier does. That's one of the general orders. You're supposed to cover down. If not covered by inspection, cover down. Call the guards. You're not supposed to disrespect or reinforce someone's shortcoming, because we all have them. We all have our strong points. We all have our weak points. But together, we're strong together. We need to get rid of the Negro mentality, because it's going to cause the total destruction of a nation of people. And it's like, it's frustrating, very frustrating, when you want to see your people in a better position. And they think they're right. They want to win a debate, have a victory in a debate, instead of us having a victory as a people. I can tell you this, the truth don't go around worried about being believed. It's going to be the truth whether you believe it or not. And the truth can withstand criticism. It can withstand questioning, but still going to remain the truth, whether the person who you're telling the truth to believes it or not. It's going to stand. Now, I remember my minister telling me a story about the naked truth. He said the truth and the lie were taking a swim. Okay, of course, you strip down to your bathing stuff. You're taking a swim. And as the truth was taking a swim, a lie put the truth clothes on and was walking around the world as a dressed up lie. And the truth was looking for his clothes. And the lie was being believed until the truth caught up with him. And guess what that truth was? It was the naked truth caught up to that well-dressed lie. It's an old story that my minister taught me about the naked truth and the dressed up lie. So we have to be mindful when we discard people who stand on our behalf. Now, I can understand if it's a Larry Elder, a David Clark, a Brandon Tatum, a Candace Owens. They have their own individual agendas. They're not standing on our behalf. But when you have people who've been putting in that work for years, decades, we need to stop calling them frauds. We need to stop calling them Negroes. We need to stop calling them out their names. Not only that, if you feel you can do better than the person that's standing on our behalf, just put in your work and combine your work with that brother or sister's work. You be the clean glass. You put a clean glass next to the dirty glass, and you let the people decide which glass they're going to drink out of. That's what you do. But some of our brothers and sisters so busy tearing other brothers and sisters down because they disagree with them, disagree with their methodology. Get your own methodology on how you do things and just do it. Because if you are so preoccupied with putting in the work, you wouldn't have time to talk about the next man or woman or what they're not doing. It's called getting busy. You're not busy putting in the work if you're worried about what the next man doing. You're not busy. You have too much time on your hand if you're doing that. It's too much of that going on. When it's a platform and we all see me, in all actuality, I would never make a video disrespecting another brother or sister. I'm not doing that. Because it would be totally against what I stand for and contrary to who and what I say I am. You leave that brother or that sister alone. If they're in error, they'll catch up. What you could do is, if you see a person in error, the best way to show a person they're in error is show them the correct way. Show them the correct way. Because you can't say someone's information is pseudo or incorrect unless you show them the correct answer. And if people see the correct answer, they're going to give the nod. Yet we need to determine, without the arguing and fussing, what happened to us. If it wasn't slavery, what happened to us? Explain our behavior and our self-hate. Because we have incredible restraint when dealing with others, and we will destroy each other in a heartbeat. This is The Enemy's Public. I am Bro.Nasir. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section. Peace.